all of us are dramatically more comfortable with video conferencing, and I think you'll see the effects there. Yeah, I do. I believe it will, and I think you're seeing that as well. I think you'll have more virtual conferences. I think there's a sea change. I do think humans inherently, in our depths of being animals, like being around each other. So I do think you'll see in 24, 36 months, plenty of concerts, plenty of conferences. But I do think you'll have additional virtual events. And I think that some of those conferences and concerts won't come back. I think that one will be a smaller percentage, but I do believe that, I do believe that's the case. I've been thoughtful in knowing that I was doing things that were high risk and had a potentially high percentage chance of not succeeding, but I either needed to taste it, like I just genuinely needed to see it through, like I was just too curious to not do it. I don't really fear, I've never done anything in business that if it fails, I have to remarkably change my lifestyle. I have to sell my home. I have to, I've never done that kind of behavior. And then even more importantly, I've never been scared to play humble, meaning humbly accepting defeat and definitely humbly in my lifestyle. So I've never worried about that. I mean, that fear in business has almost never been a variable for me. And so the answer is not really. And I think it's important for people to hear this. I'm not saying that I always think it's going to be great and I'm overconfident. It's just that when I know I'm in losing situations or potential losing situations, I mentally corked my wine social network from 2009, failed. Felt very confident that it might because I wasn't running the business. I bought it, I put somebody in place, I was stretched in through my library and I just wrote a book. Like I knew that it might not work and I would lose money. That's what happened. A whole slew of micro entrepreneurs that started mask brands and things of that nature. And then at the macro level, you have direct-to-consumer brands that have massively succeeded during this time. Anybody who's in the DTC or e-commerce infrastructure game has benefited greatly, and those who are not and have relied on physical situations has struggled to some degree. So, there's always winners and losers when there's a sea change, and I think the biggest winners are direct-to-consumer infrastructure businesses, whether it's the delivery mechanisms, aka the pipes and the shovels and things of that nature, or brands that are within that ecosystem. I think we're here to stay. I think there'll be back to using water, there's some leveling down, but it won't go to pre-COVID levels. I think a lot of people have come to learn the incredible importance of communicating in a modern way. And so, I think a lot of brands have built up new muscles. And it's kind of like adding leg workouts or cardio workouts to your workout regimen. You're going to now, factor it in. And I think, the most conservative will go back at some level to, some of their old ways. But I think the majority of organizations have realized there's some incredible opportunities in some of these digital landscapes, and I think they'll go deeper into those. Yeah, I think, yes, I think people have discovered a lot of new things, whether it's TikTok, whether it's a new OTT platform like Peacock, or if they've added one, whether that's Hulu, maybe like Netflix. I think that interacting with brands from a how you buy them standpoint has changed dramatically. I think people have discovered new brands because they're in their phones and their feeds a lot more. I think video infrastructure, this interview there's a 50% chance that Maha and I would have booked this on one of our 2 or 3 trips a year, and we would be doing this over a coffee. I think